Hey everyone, I wanted to talk to you today about the 4 reasons why people feel unhappy at work. And this is a topic that comes up a lot in one of the first stages of career change, which I would call the doubt stage. This is where you're starting to wonder if you're in the right job and you start to feel like something's a little bit off and you're probably feeling a little bit disengaged from work. So there's a lot of reasons why people feel unhappy at work, and I thought I'd talk about 4 that I hear come up a lot and I've also dealt with myself. The first one is feeling a mismatch between your talents and the tasks you're asked to do. And a lot of times what happens is when you're doing this, you're gonna feel like you're not making the most of who you are. You're not gonna feel like you're making the most of your strengths, and that can be super frustrating. I know, just as a personal example, one of the things that I think about when I think about this talent to task issue is constantly feeling like I'm doing work that someone else could be doing better. I remember when I was studying medical sciences, I wasn't great at memorizing a bunch of anatomical facts, and I looked around me and just felt like everyone else was a lot better at doing that. And that's an example of feeling like you're just not making the most of the things that you're good at. The second reason I hear is when people feel like they're misaligned to the organizational culture at work. So I'll hear things like, I feel out of place, or I feel really different from everyone else in this workplace. I don't feel like I can really be myself in order to fit in here. And I know I felt that way when I was working at a particular company that had an extremely negative culture, actually, and was extremely competitive and even cutthroat at times. And I felt like I had to be somebody else that I wasn't. And that gets exhausting, which gets me onto the third point where people are feeling unhappy at work, and that's that the work that you're doing is physically draining. So everything that you do feels like a struggle at work. You kind of constantly feel like you're trudging through mud, or everything is an uphill battle. I remember once when I was working in a research lab, and I felt like everything I was doing just took so much effort, and that I was actually physically tired at the end of the afternoon. I also remember having a corporate job where I felt like the work I was doing just wasn't energizing me, it wasn't inspiring me. And I remember getting to the end of the week and basically spending the weekends recuperating because I was so physically exhausted from the work that I was doing. And then the final one I'd point out is just feeling like the work you're doing doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter to you, it doesn't matter to your organization, and maybe you don't feel like you're actually having any sort of positive impact on the world around you, which might be important to you. An example for me was I spent a good portion of my career marketing luxury desserts. And as fun as that might sound, at the end of the day, I kind of started to wonder, what difference am I really making in terms of a difference that I cared about? And that was really a struggle for me. So those are just 4 quick reasons why people can feel unhappy at work. Feeling like there's a mismatch between their talents and tasks, feeling misaligned with the organizational culture, work feeling like it's really draining you, and finally feeling like you're doing work that doesn't matter. So let's say you're feeling some of these things, and maybe you're frustrated with other things. Now what? Your job here right now at this stage is not necessarily to fix anything, but it is to at least pinpoint what's causing you the dissatisfaction at work, to figure out exactly what's bugging you. And so with that in mind, I create a little tool that you can use if you want to. You just go to the link below this video and you can download the little tool. It'll take you 2 minutes to do, and it just gives you an opportunity to assess where you are on a few different dimensions in your life. And hopefully by figuring out what's bothering you, that can be the first step to helping you figure out what to do next to make things better.